Meteor Makers taking out BBN in the lower bracket, removing them from the tournament. And now they're going to be taking on one of the strongest teams in Europe. I believe Cadrid actually ranked them as #1, unless I'm mistaken.
I think so, yeah. But I'm actually surprised. Because we all know that Alexei actually plays a very good Carthus. So apparently they don't want to first pick it. So maybe we'll see. What else could we see? Because I don't know what kind of.
Oh, Ari's still available in the pool. We'll have to see who's going to be available. We are heading to the higher brackets at the moment, so we're going to have to see whether or not they're going to lock in a support, or if we're going to go for the carries like we have been seeing in previous games. You've also got to remember that yesterday Moscow5 got thumped by a Carthus played by Expeke from Fnatic, and I believe there was a Yorick in there as well, who was in the top lane. But you know, Expeke's Carthus yesterday played so well against Moscow5, and it led to them having a very good victory. So Carthus, Twisted Fate, Shen, and Urgot have all been removed. I think M5 are either watching the previous games or they know that MYM are very strong with it TF.
Yeah, actually I was saying that, and then I realized that they don't have to pick a mid first, and they are gonna go for the Nocturne. Diamond is a very good Nocturne, so that will be pretty interesting to see as well. So a Morgana ban is half targeted. Alexei does play a very good Morgana, but Morgana is also a really strong pick regardless of if someone is especially good at it. So next up is MYM with 2 picks, and I wanted to clear something. I'm pretty sure this is not the MYM that was there in 2010, because I'm pretty sure it was a French team or a Spanish team back then, and it's now a Polish team. So I'm pretty sure it's not the same guys, but I'm not. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, so keeping an eye on at the moment, Soraka and Graves potentially the next lock-ins. That's a fairly passive lane until Graves is able to pick up some attack damage. You know, until he can get like that BF sword or a couple of Dorans and a pickaxe, for example, and really get some good burst from the buckshot collateral damage. So we are going to see that being locked in. And are we going to see a Blitzcrank Leona? Now, if that is the case, it could potentially be a roaming Blitzcrank. I've seen it done a couple of times at the top level scene, but they may be giving Darien Jax, and that's scary. That's a very scary selection if Darien is able to get Jax. So that's now been locked in. I don't think they're going to put him in the jungle, no, because it'll be Nocturne in the jungle. Gosu Pepper, maybe selecting in Vladimir. That'll obviously be for Alexic. And I got a lot of flack from, it's Alex Itch. Apparently there's a small pause instead of Alexic, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Nicknames. Actually, you know what? I'm going to message him and ask him how we pronounce his name. So they do lock in the Vladimir. Jax is locked in as well. As an English speaker, how do I pronounce your name?
I'm pretty sure it's Alexei though.
So we'll see.
Alexei, or something like that.
I'm gonna have to see.
I know that his first name is Alexei, something like that, or Alexei.
Alexish.
Alexei. His first name is Alexei. So I think it's Alexei, but I'm not sure.
Oh man, so he's saying a swear word, so it's blocked out of my client. So we are going to see a potential Warwick, but that could be Warwick in the jungle, or it could be Warwick in the top lane. I don't know whether or not that's going to be able to counter a Jax, especially because the upfront damage should be in favor of Jax once they get a couple of levels in 1 or 2 items. So I'm interested to see who's going to be locking in. Oh, now they're just confusing me. Hovering over Xerath, hovering over Yorick. I'm going to have to just wait and see who actually gets locked in.
The Jax is very scary though, because Jax is not only like kind of considered broken, he's also just really well played by Darien. And it looks like an AP Astrio, possibly.
I think that'll be swapped. I'm sure that's going to be swapped. Darien has Galio available. He has Mordekaiser available.
Still, though, it's a pretty good...
Yeah, we need a support. Hold on, we need a support. He's
it's support. Yeah, sorry.
He's going to be playing Vlad in the middle, and we're going to see Jax in the top lane. So, going to see who the support is actually going to be. And if it is going to be a Nunu Ashe combo, that's very, very powerful. We actually seen Fnatic using it, I think, yesterday. The Blood Boil on Nunu is so strong, and once Ashe gets at least one damaging item with those Frost Arrows, the debuff from that Ice Blast, and then the attack speed and movement speed buff from Blood Boil, it makes it so difficult to get away. Meteor Makers are sitting on Sejuani, and I got excited for a second. I would have been cool to see Sejuani. I haven't seen her played at top level play at all. But obviously, it's not the best jungler, so they're going to be swapping over to...
Fish actually did it once. Well, the thing is, Sejuani, I think she needs a very tiny buff, like, for her clearing speed. Other than that, she's pretty based. Her ultimate is one of the best initiates in the game, and, like, it's not that hard to hit. It's really good in my opinion. They just need a kind of, you know, buff her a tiny bit so that she can actually jungle properly.
Yeah, so look at the lineups right now. We're into the last 30 seconds. We are going to see Darien in the top lane, Flash Ignite Jax facing off against Caroline's Flash Ignite Warwick. Mid lane, Alexish is going to go Ghost Heal on his Vladimir. And that'll be facing off against Charu's Ziggs Flash Ignite. Bottom lane, Flash Heal, Flash Ignite, and that's on Genja and Gosu Pepper's Ashe and Nunu. In reply, we have Makla and Libic, Flash Heal, Flash Exhaust, and that's going to be, of course, Graves, Soraka. And then we've got Nocturne and Maokai in the jungle. Lanes, fairly even.
Yeah, I can't see a matchup that's like completely imbalanced towards one side. I think every lane could go either way. Nunu and Ashe don't synergize especially well. I mean, the slow stack, obviously, so that's going to be very strong, but it's not like a Kog'Maw Nunu lane where the Nunu just absolutely... It just makes Kog'Maw overpowered, in my opinion. So it's not that bad, but...
Well, they are coming up against a fairly passive lane, and when you consider that Soraka's got no inherent escapes outside of that Flash, every time they come around with that Ice Blast and Blood Boil, they're going to be able to keep putting more and more damage down. And yes, Libic does have the ability to boost his armor with the Astral Blessing. But I think if Moscow5 play their normal aggressive game, they should be able to actually pick up a couple of kills in the different lanes. I'm having a look at Darien's runes, how he's playing Jax. 15 physical damage, 13 armor, 24 magic resist. Coming up against a Warwick, I think that's the right things to do.
So, I don't know, in the mid, there's one thing I want to mention about the mid, is that Ziggs is way longer range, so he might be able to abuse that, but we are getting very close to the delay being over, so in a few seconds we will start up the ad break, and we will see you guys in the loading screen when the skin wars commence. So I'm gonna start the ads right now, and we will see you in 90 seconds.
Sweet, adverts are started, and we are, for everybody that doesn't have ad blocker up and running, you can hear our lovely voices. Try to disable that ad blocker and, you know, share some love. And everybody
if you don't have ad blocker but still are not getting the ads, we don't know what it is, but you're allowed to live. Don't worry.
So thank you very much. We are currently the second highest stream as far as League of Legends is concerned. I believe we're number 1 on LoL as far as Twitch goes, but I want to get those numbers higher, guys. Bring your friends, your family, bring everybody else along.
Hamsters, frogs, their mothers.
Exactly. Whoever is able to push a button and watch a stream.
I just had a guy say that his hamster couldn't watch because it was too tired because of watching yesterday.
Wow, fair enough, fair enough.
That's a valid reason, I think. The hamster may live as well.
So we are finally loading up. 10 seconds left on the screen. I'm going to look at what Alexich's runes are. MRes HP AP, 175 HP at level 18, 15 ability power, 12 MR, and 5 magic pen. So we're down to the last little bit. I don't want to click anything, otherwise it throws the...
Oh yeah, you don't
load
have
down.
the proper windowed mode.
No, I do.
Yeah,
It's
you have the borderless one, which is slightly worse for that stuff.
not really. Borderless is what you meant to stream with if you stream at 1920 by 1080.
Yeah, but I don't do 1080.
Okay, so we into the skin war.
My internet doesn't run that.
Alright. So Skin War has loaded. The epic awesomeness of Bloodlord Valimir is in the top lane. Oh, we've got Demolisher Nunu. Insta win. I love that skin.
Well, Robot Nunu is kind of better. Or Nunu Bot, what's it called?
The Nunu bot is pretty cool, but I don't know. I like that. I like the Demolisher Nunu. I like the armor.
So no Warwick skin, no Ashe skin.
No Maokai skin. No
Maokai skin as
skin.
well. No
Yeah,
Ziggs.
so Ziggs, the skin war quite clearly won by Moscow5.
Yes, definitely.
Do, however, need to put my overlays up to date. So while we're doing that, Moscow5 and MYM, I think I've got logos for them as well, which I do. So there we go. Moscow5, they are in the bottom left-hand side of your corner wearing the blue trunks. They are facing off against MYM on the right-hand side of your screen. They are wearing the red trunks, of course. And let's see whether we're going to have some invades. You know, we've had a very, very slow start to the jungles for the previous best of 3. There was a little bit of poking back and forth, but, you know, very little actually coming from the jungle invades outside of one steal. And let's see whether or not Moscow5, who are quite famous for their aggressive play, are going to actually do anything. At this time, though, they're just camping at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any level 1 aggression, but because it's kind of risky, and neither team actually has a hard CC at the start. I mean, okay, so Jax could go for a stun. That would work. And then you could go Snare Maokai, but that would put you behind on the jungle a lot. Other than that, there's no real CC, so level 1 fight wouldn't be good for either teams, and that's why they're camping out. And I'm surprised that Mokat is not throwing down saplings. Oh, actually he started with his Q for some reason. Usually people start with the faces, what are called saplings.
The little saplings, yep. But they look like little faces. They look just like little faces when you toss them down. The Christmas ones in particular, they've actually got sad little smiley faces, you know, sad smileys. So we are into the game. Welcome to everybody that's joined. For those of you who may not know, this is the Medion challenge. Oh, we've got pressure on this bottom lane already. Makla trying to poke down Genja, and that's very, very big because there's no sustain in this bottom lane. Both champions using their potions. Neither of them have the heal available. So that's going to put them just a little bit behind. And what I was saying, this is the Medion challenge. We're down to the final 8. Make that final 6, in fact, because Asylum and Better Buff Needly have just been knocked out today. The loser of this game goes home empty-handed once more, and this is a best of 3 double elimination tournament, or cup.
So, actually it's going to be a flash snare. Wow, I was going to say he was moving in, but he is going to go in right now, and Exhaust goes down, and ooh, the banana almost killed it, but not quite, and Genja and Pepper will have to go back to base. At least Genja will. Pepper seems to be staying here to pick up the XP. That was a great gank. They used quite a lot of summoners and they didn't get a kill, but still forcing someone out of the lane, especially with such a large creep wave at their tower, is just very good. And it will help a lot because they are level 2 now and they will be able to zone out, Genja only being level 1. There was a gank in the middle that I kind of missed, but I don't think too much happened. No one died, that's for sure. And
a lot of summoner
spells used.
Well, take a look in the bottom lane. Libic, no flash, no exhaust. Graves, no flash. Genja and Gosu Pepper, flash, heal, and ignite all blown. So a lot of summoner spells used, and if they set up for a little bit of aggression in the next couple of minutes, MYM may be able to actually make something happen.
So Mokat is going for his red. He is going to check with the sapling first, not going to face check that, which is a good idea because there's 2 people there. Problem is that there is a creep wave at the tower, so Caroline was not able to come and help, and that will be a fairly free rep buff for Diamond procs. And actually, I think Alechich also pushed to the tower. So well done there by lanes, helping with that counter jungle, which is what Moscow5 got famous for, really.
Yeah, when they were still playing under the Empire name, if I remember correctly, comboing the Absolute Zero and the Requiem from Karthus.
Yes, that made them famous, and then they got to M5, and
Shyvana.
M5 is mostly known for their aggressive counter jumping.
Yeah. And what Diamond Prox is famous for saying is that quote of his that he's not a good jungler, he's a good counter jungler. And every time you hear that quote, he always says he relies on his team to push in with him, and that was a perfect example of it. Darien came down to the red buff to help. You've seen Alexish coming into the jungle as well, just to put that pressure down to really make sure that Mokat knows he cannot engage in a fight because it's going to be, a bit disappointing, or he's going to lose out, 1v3 kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the best quote is still Genja, who, when asked about which way he focuses, he says, "See hero, kill hero."
Yeah,
which I thought was amazing. That's pretty much how everyone plays AD carry, I think. So Alexi actually getting quite a lot of rest on him, almost going down. If those mines would have hit 1 or 2 more procs, then I think Alexi would have gone down for sure.
Don't forget that the passive coming out from Ziggs is really, really powerful. That short fuse passive, it allows Ziggs to apply magic damage to his next auto attack. It scales off his ability power. And the cooldown on that passive reduces with each spell used. So now we're going to see him coming forward. He puts the satchel charge down, and a very nicely timed satchel charge. That's going to knock him to safety. Diamond Prox places a ward, so he's going to see exactly where Jaru is. Now the cooldown is down. The Duskbringer does land this time, but not enough damage or armor to pick up that kill. A little bit of a gank in that top lane. Darien just uses that leap strike to jump over to a friendly creep and get to safety.
So right now, Diamond Prox is going to take another Wraith camp, and he's going to leave the small minion, so Mokat is going to be quite a bit behind. He is a whole level behind on Diamond Prox, and if Diamond Prox keeps doing this, at some point he's going to be way ahead, and he will probably be able to easily 1v1 Mokat, and Nuxin is already better at 1v1ing than Mokat is, so especially with a level advantage he will be able to do that. Down bottom, the aggression at the start that almost killed Genja is actually going to put Makler ahead by about 11 CS, and I was kind of scared that there was a gank going on, but it was Alex going almost going down to the Wraiths. Had to use his pool there. That would be kind of funny. But it's only, let's see, it's about 15 CS, which is not too much, but for an AD carry, that's quite a bit, and they will probably be building on that advantage.
Well, it comes from all the DPS that was put down very, very early on, and the fact that Genja was forced back, forced out of lane, has to rely on those pots, has got no innate sustain, so has to stay, has to recall when it's taken that much damage. But the difference isn't noticeable right now. Only 300 gold across the map, and that's pretty much concentrated in the bottom lane. 16 CS, 20 gold per creep. It's plus minus 300 gold. The thing that I find very, very interesting, Darien has been up at this tower against Caroline the entire time, uses the ignite and forces Caroline back. I don't know if he was hoping for a fight or an engagement there, but Caroline has now fallen back. It's going to miss the cannon creep, as well as a full wave here, and potentially another wave as well.
Yeah, Darien is going to be picking up that wave, and I'm wondering if he would go for the golems. It doesn't seem like it, and Mokat is going to be moving up. It's going to go for the golems, not for the creeps at the tower. Actually, he is going to go for that, and he's going to be taking that experience, making sure it doesn't go to a complete waste. Darien was famous for using Shyvana top and counter jungling after pushing, but it seems like he's not confident enough with his Jax yet. Reckons he doesn't have enough items yet. When he does, he will probably counter jungle as well, and they're going to give Mokat a really hard time. He is still level 5, while Diamond Prox is level 6. So Diamond Prox will be able to use his paranoia to, or is it paranoia?
Yep,
yes, it is paranoia. To jump all the way across the map. Well, not all the way across the map, but a pretty good distance, and those ganks are almost not noticeable before he's like on you. So That will help a lot. And he is going to take down this blue as well.
Well,
I think that was a Madras proc actually.
Diamond procs as well. He's invaded. They've stolen 2 red buffs. Now they've stolen a blue buff, and they're starting a 9-minute dragon. This is a 5-man Moscow5. Really taking control of this map. You know, they stole the red buff. The Ash Arrow does land onto Maclat. Now he's going to push forward. Hemo Plague has been hit as well. Paranoia dives all the way from the background. That's going to be enough to secure the kill. First blood goes to Alexish.
Wow.
Now he's pushing forward into Linux. Absolute Zero is going to put some damage down, apply the slow, and the volley from all the way out of tower range actually picks up the second kill. So 1 kill to Vlad, 1 kill to Ash, a dragon, and they're going to be able to put a lot of damage down onto this tower. Really nicely done from Moscow5.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that they were 5 obviously, but even if you are 4, you can sometimes compete or at least try to smite steal. But Mokat didn't even try because he was 2 levels behind. So not only is he gonna instantly die and probably not gonna be able to do anything, he also smites for less damage. So the smite steal would have been almost impossible. So that's why they didn't even try. And Darren is gonna try to be aggressive on Caroline, but doesn't hit his stun right here. Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is that the first blood was actually after the first dragon. That's very unusual.
Yeah, very true. But then again, a 9-minute dragon is not something you see every day of the week either. So
Well, I saw a level 1 dragon in Korea.
well, yes, very true. That was for the OGN network, if I remember correctly, or the OGN game.
Yes, I think it was MIG Blaze that did it. I'm not sure though. I didn't follow it too well. I just saw that they did the 1-minute dragon, which I thought was hilarious. And there's going to be fight in the jungle here. Mokat going to be focused, and he is going to be stunned, and he's most likely going to be down. Yes, he is going to be going down, and Alexi does pick up that kill. Would have been slightly better on Darien for the rat buff, but I'm sure that they don't really mind. The kill on Alex Ich, or Alex Ich. I still don't know what it is.
I'm saying it like it's an S. I'm going to pretend it's an Alexish. That's why I'm going. Now we do catch the Asher on the bottom lane. Frost arrows are landing. The volley hits as well. Very nice juke coming up from Jenga. Still takes a full frontal buckshot and collateral damage to the face. Now, Gosu Pip is going to try tank this tower damage, and they might be able to do it. Wish has been used by Libic. Gosu Pip can take 1 more tower hit, and he does manage to get away. Compliments of the movement speed buff from Blood Boil.
Yeah, what was one thing to notice there is that Genja at some point was out of mana, so that's why he wasn't slowing as much as he should have been. And that's probably what saved Libic there. And one thing to note though, which we haven't said yet, is that Caroline isn't the regular top for MYM. So they are working on that, but they seem to be working fairly well with it. Up till now, but against Moscow5 it really shows if you are not at your perfect in your perfect shape.
Well, they're not too far behind. Warwick was holding his own up until that dragon and team fight engagement where Jax was able to pick up his Phage, because he was sitting fairly even at around about the 50 CS point. Now it's fallen behind. 66 on Caroline in the top line to 88 on Darien. That's a pretty big difference right now. Alexish in the middle, 97 to the 92 on Charu. And in the bottom lane, 79 to 82. So really even across the board, obviously, except for that top lane. And did we have a steal on the red buff? I didn't actually see.
I think it's coming up in a few seconds.
Well, that would explain why Diamond Prox and Darien are running around a little bit. Because
I think it should be up in like within the next minute. I think. Because it usually comes up around 30 minutes. You can see that the blue with Diamond Prox just came up, so he's going to go for that, and after that the red should be spawning, because obviously Mokat took it quite a while after his blue.
Do you see Darren? He's opting to take this fight. There goes another Empower. Ignites 30 seconds on cooldown. Leap Strike and counter attack coming up. There goes the Leap Strike, followed up by the Empower immediately. Darren really putting a lot of hurting down into Caroline, but without having a Vamp Scepter, Caroline is going to be able to regenerate this a little bit. The Hungering Strike as well as the auto attacks and his passive of the Eternal Thirst. That's going to give him hit points back, you know, stacking up to, I think it's 45 per hit eventually. 7 bones and heal him for an equal amount. Now look at the damage coming out, 721 per hit. Darien keeps putting the pressure down. He's got an Ignite available. So I think when he gets that counter attack back, or his counter attack or cooldown, he may be able to just die for that kill.
Yeah, I think that Caroline, well, he did take a Q off that big golem, Hungering Strike, but he's still at fairly low health, and I think Darren will be able to tower dive that. His ultimate is 15 seconds for being off cooldown, and at that point he can probably tank the tower because it does give some defensive stats.
Oh, Ash Arrow does land into Libic, followed up by the Paranoia. An Ice Cube to the back means Libic gets completely locked up. And our Chalice of Harmony wielding Genja going to be tossing out Frost Arrows all day long. I think MYM are a little bit confident, in Moscow5 are a little bit confident about this game.
I think they are. They are 5 for 0. They're 5k ahead, and they're doing very well. Actually, there's going to be an engage here on... I think it was an engage on Alexei. That was kind of...
It was,
strange.
in fact, it was the Twisted Advance trying to catch Vladimir. Dual flashes from Charu and from Alexish. Now they're going to be falling back. Volley comes out from Genja. He's now falling back in conjunction with the Blood Boil. It was only Nunu that had the Blood Boil. Just having a very quick look. Attack speed 1.4 once the Blood Boil is activated, of course.
And in the middle, Caroline is actually going to go... Oh, he doesn't go down because he uses his ultimate, and will he survive? He will survive! Really well played there. I don't know if you caught that.
Just caught the very, very end of it after the infinite duress had managed to catch him under the tower.
That, though.
Well, let's do a replay. Okay, so it's going to be 2 replays. We're going to be watching. Here's the fight in the middle. Let's see exactly who engages on who. Hunter's Call, that's it getting used now. Darren and Caroline bashing one another back and forth, back and forth. Huge damage. Ignite goes down, but complemented the healing from Caroline as well as the wish coming out from Libic. Caroline manages to survive with his life, so I'm now into fast forward and directed camera mode.
Yeah, what you could see what he was doing there, he was waiting for the stun before using his ultimate, and that was really well done. Because if that stun would have been up, his ultimate would have been useless. Not only would he would all his attacks from his ultimate be dodged, he would also be stunned, and then his ultimate would end. So there's going to be a small fight here at the bottom. Makler and Genja 1v1ing it on my screen. Not going to happen too much though. In the meantime, M5 is actually going to be trying to go for a dragon, and they will be picking that up pretty much uncontested. So I'm in fast forward again.
So did they pick that dragon up? I missed it.
Yeah, they did pick that up. So I'm back at live.
Yeah,
and
back to live as well.
That's 2 dragons for M5 already, and also 4 kills ahead. So that gives them a nice 6k advantage. So that's gonna really be something that M5 can build on, because they are known for getting those small advantages and snowballing them out of control.
Look at the gold difference at the moment. 6,000 gold already at the 16-minute mark. And see how that splits. In the mid lane, Alexish 5,600 gold to 4,400 on Chazu. In the top lane, 4,800 to 3,600. That's a big difference. 1,200 difference. That's a Sheen in itself difference. Bottom lane, 5,500 to 4,000. There's a BF sword difference as well. Except this time round, it's 2 grand in the bank and a Chalice of Harmony on Genja. I think he's having a little bit of fun with it.
There's also a several hundred gold difference between the supports, which may sound kind of silly because they are supports, but actually there's going to be a gank on top, so I'll finish my thought later. Darian is going to be engaged on my 3 people, but he seems to be getting away just fine. He's going to jump to a friendly minion. Really well done, saving his leap strike for the minions.
I'm rewinding that very slowly, and I'm going to put this into slow motion mode because I believe the counter attack cancelled the infinite duress. I'm 99% sure about that. Counter attack gets started. There goes the twisted advance, followed up. Now I'm in super slow mode. There's the knock-up. Infinite duress. The stun lands on Caroline. And Darian, please have my League of Legends babies because you, sir, are a god.
Oh, and there's actually going to be an engage on Caroline on my screen. I don't know if you have it yet. They're not going to quite pick that up there.
Catching up. Paranoia does get used. Wish blown. But no kill coming from it. Now in the middle lane though, Alexish is going to be pushing forward into Charu. He needs one more transfusion, almost able to pick up the kill. Unfortunately, not able to do it this time round.
So I'm on fast forward again, and I'm at live. Arrow going mid, not hitting Charu. Otherwise that would have definitely been a kill. So a good try from Genja, not quite happening now.
Yeah, really, really well played. We are now back up to live, guys. So just hit that J just to make sure. And we figured out, if you rewind using the scroll bar, that's what makes the gold graphic glitch. So instead of doing that, just hit the backspace key and it prevents that happening. So gold difference of 7,000. Genja 2,600 gold in the bank. is fighting a Berserker's Greave Double Doran's BF Sword Graves and not even afraid.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, he's got slightly more sustain because of that third Doran's blade, and well, I don't know. The Jazz of Harmony is kind of wow. Okay, so we've got an absolute 0 to kill a range creep and 3 melee creeps. I'm gonna just guess that was a misclick.
I think it's just Moscow5 having a bit of fun with it. Diamond Prox moves forward. Instant flash from Libic. That felt a little bit premature, but you know what? Better safe than sorry.
Pretty scared. And well, rightly so. They are very scared of Moscow5 at the moment because Moscow5 is 7k ahead, and that's a very respectable advantage. And Moscow5 will push that and play very aggressively if they can. And they might be going for a dive in bottom here. Makler is getting slowed. Ghost Pepper going into the tower, but not going to go in. There's comes the arrow. And there is going to be a wish thrown at Alexich, and Diamond Prox are right here now. Are here right now too. Okay, there we go. And great twisted pass over the wall to get away. And Alexich throwing down the Hammer Plague. Ooh, Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't hit a lot of people. Makat going down, Makler going down as well. Great play from Darien there, using his stun, and he's actually going to go down to Xaru's, or Charu's Ignite. And Charu is going to be surviving. Rat Team Stewart did go down, so that's going to be Bottom Tower. And Caroline is going to be using his Infinite Duress on Diamond Prox, expertly waiting for the spell sheet to be over. But it seems like Diamond Prox might still be getting away. Caroline is quite a bit faster, so he will probably be able to... Oh, nice! He flashed for the last auto attack. Really well done there by Caroline. And the fear didn't proc in time.
Really good damage coming out from Moscow5. They had a very well coordinated tower dive, and it was only really on the way out that it actually started to cost them a little bit more problems, or a little bit more negativity. But look at the build coming out from Alexis. He's got Merc Treads, the Revolver, and then a Deathfire Grasp. So he's going for that straight up burst, straight up DPS. We've got Trinity Force complete on Jax, and look at the farm difference. 155 CS against 101. That is a massive difference. Over 1,000 gold, excluding the 2 dragons that have already gone down, and the 3rd dragon that is about to spawn in the next 30 seconds. It sounds as though, or it looks as though, Moscow5 are really going to be driving home a fairly early victory right now.
I just got in which match the 1 Minute Dragon was actually. It was the first game of the playoff. MLG Frost did it in the Champion Season 1 of OGN in Korea.
Oh, there we go. 1 Minute Dragon.
For the people that were wondering that. Yeah, it was level 1.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick. No, actually, I think it was 2 minutes.
Now we do have a very big engage. Darien dives forward. Immediately, Vengeful Maelstrom has gone down. Absolute Zero is going to keep people in the background. Jax picks up the first kill onto Graves. Caroline's going to be the next victim to fall. The Mega Inferno Bomb does relatively no damage against Moscow5. And they just say, thank you for the 3 kills. Immediately fall backwards. Another dive forward. Counterattack is not available for Darien just yet. Now it finally goes out. He's going to lock up Zaru. And now he's going to fall backwards. And a very good play from Darien.
Nice flash also from Ghost Pepper. He would have probably died if he stayed there, so good job seeing that coming.
So Darien at the moment, 4-2-2. No innate lifesteal, so he's going to have to pick up a Vamp Scepter or similar. I mean, he's got that Ruby Crystal at the moment. I'd like to see what he wants to actually build this into. But a fed, farmed Jax is not somebody you want to be dealing with. And something else that has to get mentioned, Alexis has farmed 23 minutes in and he has 221 CS. That's sitting at about 10 CS per minute. It's not at the same 300 level that he has with Galio, but nevertheless, it is super high farm and super high creep score.
I can't remember, I think it was Becky who broke the record of Alexis with, I think he had like 300 farm or something at the point where Alexis had 250, something like that. He had ridiculous amounts of farm.
Yeah, it happened over the weekend. It did, however, fall off because the team fight stage started happening a little better. And at the 40-minute mark, 35-40 minute mark, Alexis then overtook Xpeke's record. But regardless, the DPS is so high. It looks as though Jax is probably going to be building into a Warmogs at the moment. And a death cap outright for Alexis.
Wow, he's going for a very interesting build. With the Deathfire Grasp, he will be actually nuking, which is something that Vladimir does lack. That's one of the few things that he cannot do at all, is properly bursting someone down. So that will give him a huge advantage in that, and that will make his champion way more diverse. And well, it seems to be working up till now. They are 12 to 3. Wow, I'm really having trouble with talking.
13,000 gold lead at the 24-minute mark. 500 gold per minute. They were earning more. And that's a huge amount. Now look at the aggression coming forward. Counterattack's going to lock Moscow5 up. Empower plus Leap Strike and the Paranoia is all that they're going to need. Jax didn't even use his ultimate there. Grandmaster's Might was not required. We do have another push in the middle. Hemoplague plus one more Transfusion may be enough to pick it up, and it does. Transfuse plus the Hemoplague. Alexis just trying to get away. He gets out of range of tower hits now. Caroline is going to think about this dive. I'm going to quickly lower my scoreboard. The Ash Arrow is available. Going to see, is it going to be used? Is Alexis going to bait just a little bit? But right now, huge number of pings coming out from MYM. Actually, they do jump straight onto Caroline. And Caroline, once again, using Infinite Duress under the effects of Unspeakable Horror, so it instantaneously gets cancelled. The Ash Arrow does land on Makla. Makla turns around, compliments of collateral damage, does actually pick up a kill down onto Alexis. Now a very nicely channeled Absolute Zero is going to do absolutely nothing, sadly. Very small amount of damage. Genja's pushing forward. They're trying to pick up some more kills, but Infinite Duress, the timing on that ability was just a little bit wrong. I mean, you could see Diamond Prox had activated the Unspeakable Horror, and then he jumps straight into somebody. It's not out of range. It doesn't break the Unspeakable Horror. And, yeah, he goes down after the fear interrupts his spell.
Yeah, the Absolute Zero of Nunu did absolutely zero damage. Sorry for that there. But in the meantime, Darian actually took down a tower at top, which means that they just played a 4 versus 5 team fight and kind of won that. So that's pretty good for M5. And I'm surprised, to be honest, that Beachmakers did not actually surrender yet. Because, well, I mean, they could still win. Don't get me wrong here. They could definitely win. If they get 1 or 2 good team fights, they can still win. But
we do have a Paranoia dive going down onto the bottom. Sharu has been caught out. That spell shield isn't actually going to get popped. Compliments of the red buff, though, and the knock-up instantaneously flash from Zaru. Now the flash comes back. Alexis just says, "Hello, little Yordle. I will gladly suck your blood." Finishes off that kill really, really easily. No challenge at all. Another dive now onto Libic, and he instantly gets blown up. Just as we talk about the surrender vote. Really nicely done. M5 in control of that game the entire time. I don't think they were ever a threat of falling behind, but the Chalice of Harmony on Ashe. Debatable whether you think it works or not, but they come out ahead. So game 1 goes to Moscow5.
So, great play by Moscow5. They're doing their thing, taking an advantage and just building on it and building on it and building on it. And if you